Hi folks, Gavin here from Player TV, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the entry-level X370 motherboard from the guys over at ASRock. This is the ASRock X370 Killer SLI motherboard. Now it's fully ATX, and as the namesake suggests, it does support SLI configurations as well as Crossfire. It retails for around £150 in the UK and $160 in the US, so it puts it at one of the cheapest X370 motherboards on the AM4 Ryzen AMD chipset. It features a 12 power phase design on the CPU and memory, so it does have a relatively good phase system. It should be good for smooth power delivery, output, and for overclocking as well. It shouldn't be too bad, although the more expensive ASRock models do have 16 phase power. It has 4 DIMM slots, which supports DDR4 memory up to speeds of 2933 MHz overclocked, and the maximum capacity you can put on the memory is 64 gig, which is pretty similar across all the Ryzen motherboards due to the 4 DIMM designs. In terms of slots, it has 2 PCI Express Gen 3 x 16 slots, which do feature the ASRock steel armor. It also has 4 PCI 2 x 1 slots as well for things like sound cards, extra networking equipment, RAID cards, etc, etc. As I mentioned, it does support AMD Crossfire and SLI configurations. It does support NVIDIA SLI 2-way. It also supports up to Crossfire 4-way, so obviously if you've got 2 GPUs on each card, like the 7990, you can run 2 of them and run 4-way, which is technically 4-way even though it's 2-way, although it could be 4-way, 2-way. I'm going on round in circles. In terms of audio, it utilises the Realtek ALC 892 audio codec controller, which is a little disappointing. I would expect the ALC 1220, which most of the other boards feature, but obviously given the entry-level pricing, some things have to be cut, and although the 892 isn't a bad audio processor at all for an onboard chip, it isn't as good as the 1220. Trust me, I've listened to both with my headphones, obviously. It has 6 SATA 3 ports, as well as 2 M.2 ports. Now the SATA ports support RAID 0, 1 and 10 RAID configurations or arrays, however you say it. As I've said, it has dual M.2. One is PCIe Ultra, so you can use the NVMe SSDs, and the other one is SATA controlled as well. In terms of rear I/O, we have 2 Wi-Fi antenna ports, 1 PS2 mouse port, 1 PS2 keyboard port, 1 HDMI port, 6 USB 3.0 ports, 1 USB 3.0 Type A port, 1 USB 3.0 Type C port, 1 RJ45 Ethernet port, HD audio jacks, and 1 optical SPDIF or SPDIF out port. So, we've seen the board close up. You can see it has a nice white and black design with a massive K to signify the killer branding from ASRock. Here is the specifications of the test setup, so you can see how we test Ryzen's X370 motherboards. And yeah, let's take a look at the performance and then we'll come back. Well, I'll come back and you'll hopefully stay. So, the ASRock X370 Killer SLI has been tested, and I'm actually a really big fan of this board. There's quite a lot of very positive things to say about it as well, and I'm not being over positive here, but as for terms of price to features, you get all the same ASRock features, software features, should I say, as you do on the more expensive X370 motherboards. One thing that I really do like about this board is the amount of rear I/O connections. Compared to some other boards we've seen, they don't tend to put as many USB ports, and BioStar are very big. They're very guilty of this, so big applaud to ASRock for this. In terms of pricing, you know, £150 or $160 is pretty decent, especially when you compare it to the AMD, you know, Ryzen ethos of price to performance and bang for buck, which is really, really good. It offers more bang for buck than the, you know, professional gaming fatality version of this board, as well as the Asus. This is definitely good value for money, and it's getting our value award, whether you like it or not. You know, it delivers all-round good performance, and in some cases it even beats, you know, the more expensive, you know, £260 fatality professional gaming, as I've just mentioned. So when you look at it like that, it's very, very good. Two glaring things, from my opinion, that are not very good, and I'm going to bring it up anyway because that's my job. First, the Southbridge heatsink is RGB. There is RGB lighting around it, but it's the only area of RGB, so you can only change this particular part of the board. Now, considering you've got an entire board up here and up, and you can only change this, it's a bit of a glare. But I do prefer the implementation of RGB on a board that's, you know, like a black, silver, and white, as opposed to a red and black board, like I've said previously in other reviews. In terms of, you know, features, you know, 2 M.2 ports is good, especially on entry-level board. You can SLI, which is good. You know, the cheaper boards, lots of the B350s don't have that capability of SLI, so it's really good that ASRock has put so much effort and time into producing a budget, value-orientated board which doesn't leave much out, and, you know, most consumers, and hopefully you'll be happy with something like this. So in terms of other flaws as well, memory compatibility is still a little bit of an issue on Ryzen, and it can be hit or miss. I did have problems with our Ballistic 3000, and it did require quite a bit of tweaking to get it 100% stable. A lot of the times it wouldn't even boot, so horses for horses there, horses for courses, or whatever. But yeah, aside from the RGB, and, you know, the memory compatibility, this board is an absolute winner, and I'm going to give it our gold award. Now, some might think, well, I give the professional gaming, which is a more all-round better board, the silver, and I gave this the gold. Well, the reason this gets the gold is because it's great price, it has tons of features, and it looks absolutely amazing. Look. Oh, so it's, yeah. So I'd like to thank ASRock for sending the X370 Killer SLI in for review. I'd like to thank everyone for watching today. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment. Is this the kind of board you'd buy? Would you buy an X370 board for £150, and then what CPU would you buy? Would you go Ryzen 3, 5 or 7? Obviously 5 and 7 are only released at the time of this video. Or are you opting more for the likes of the Crosshair? Let us know in the comments below anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching, folks, and ciao for now.